And even like headlines for like news articles and stuff, there'll be like this headline that seems one way, but if you actually click on the article, read it through, it's like completely saying something different. So slow down, read it, watch it before you share it.
What is the perfect bite? That mix of flavors, textures, colors, and aromas that come together in one amazing amuse-bouche. Big ideas expressed in small bites. That's our podcast, a variety of inspiring topics to make your financial goals and dreams a reality.
Brought to you by Clark County Credit Union for your weekly serving of food reviews, financial education, and life hacks that your future self will appreciate. It's the perfect bite of interesting information to start your week. Welcome to episode 87 of The Perfect Bite. I'm Crystal Price.
And I'm Shannon Hiller. Let's dig in. We love trying new dishes here at The Perfect Bite, and Northside Nathan's Detroit Pizza is both an office and family favorite. Next, we'll talk about how to deal with debt collectors, and finally, we'll share ways to avoid falling for misinformation on social media.
Each week on The Perfect Bite, we'll visit a locally owned Southern Nevada restaurant that we hope will become your new favorite. This week, we're sharing a personal favorite, Northside Nathan's. They have a location in town on Lake Mead in between Buffalo and Tenaya, which is right next to Pink Box Donuts, if you know where that is. It's very much a Detroit pizzeria with old school arcade games, sports memorabilia hanging up on the walls, along with classic signage like Coca-Cola metal signs, a light up Bud Light sign, and a selection of booths and table seating around the restaurant. I've been there a couple of times, and this is someplace that I usually go to when I'm craving pizza for lunch while I'm here in the office. So it's super close to the office here at Tenaya, like maybe 5-minute drive. And everything is fresh to order. So that's what I really like about it. There's no like pizza sitting out on trays and you order a slice. It's like, no, what do you want to order? There's one guy in the back who's cooking and there's one person in the front taking the orders. And it's pretty much like a regular meeting spot. I want to say that the majority of the times that I've gone, I've seen different organizations go there for meetings. I've seen police officers go there for their lunches.
We've had a meeting there before.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a local, quick little place, good food, nice people, a lot of takeout. So that's what I ordered that day. I ordered a takeout order with a small traditional round 6-inch pepperoni pizza. So that's 4 slices. I had pepperoni, sausage, and olives. I did have to pay an extra $1 for the olives, but I got this on their lunch special, which was $7.95, and it came with the drink. And then I added to that an order of Detroit Red Wings with a medium sauce. So the Detroit Red Wings are, of course, a sports team, but they are also their wings. And that was $9.45. So a little bit more pricey, but definitely worth it. They kind of do like they fry it first and then they dip it into the sauce. So it's not like a super crunch, but just nicely cooked together. And it was nice because even though I ordered all that food, I was able to have the meal for 2 days. So I had my lunch one day and then the next day I was able to warm it up in the air fryer. And it was even better, added that little extra crisp to it. I think what I'll order next time when I go is the old-fashioned deep Detroit dish pizza. That's, of course, one of the things that they're known for, but I've yet to try it. So I'm going to do that. And those also come in a 6-inch option, so you don't have to worry if you're going alone like I did. You can order it for yourself. And I think the recommendation that I would give for any of you wanting to go there is definitely plan for the cooking time. Like I said, everything is made fresh to order, so plan to wait about 15 minutes if you're going alone. If you're going with a larger group, it may be a little bit longer of a wait, but there's plenty of things in the restaurant to keep you occupied. I mentioned the arcade games, so the time goes by quickly. If you have a recommendation for a restaurant or dish for us to try here, send us a message at theperfectbite@ccculv.com. We're always open to new ideas. Next up, we're going to talk about dealing with collectors. This was actually a submission from a listener. So today, Shannon's going to share with us some tips from NerdWallet on how to get those conversations going.
So when most people start receiving calls from a debt collector, the first reaction is panic, which is normal. But there are better ways to deal with debt collectors than just being worried about it. So knowing how they actually operate can help you avoid falling for debt collector scams. So a little bit about in general what a debt collector does and then how you can work with them. So then if someone does call you, you can say, no, this is a scam. Mm-hmm. I know how this usually works. So unfortunately, people are looking for any opportunity they can to try to get information from you. And one of them is from collections agencies. So What is a debt collector? It's a person, agency, or company who collects the money that you owe and is past due. So if you don't pay on your loan or your credit card and it goes unpaid for several months, the original creditor will sell that debt to a third party. Or we have a department here at the credit union. Collections will help our members who might be falling behind on loans. And I will say that typically they are trying to help them.
Yeah, they want to find solutions.
Exactly. And so first and foremost, like try to help make the member make it whole, get back to where they need to be. So once it's already been sold to a third party, though, that's kind of out of the hands of the original company that you were working with. So the first thing you should do if you get a call like this, within 5 days of the contact, you should receive a validation letter from the debt collector. And as a consumer, you have the right to demand a debt letter that verifies the amount you owe, who you owe it to, and other important details about the debt. So if someone calls you, send me this validation letter, see it all in one place.
Confirm it first.
And if they can't do it, then it's not real. Number 2, know your consumer rights. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act protects consumers from collectors that are overdoing it, such as calling you at unreasonable times, threatening you with arrest, or using obscenities. So if you get any phone calls where someone's like, we've heard this before, if you don't pay this right now, we're going to put a warrant out for your arrest. Like, no one's going to do that. So calm down, everybody. Number 3, choose a debt payoff method or dispute debt collection. So consumers have options to pay their debt, and you can choose a payment plan that works for you. You can pay it off all at once or settle it for less than you owe, even in some cases. So no matter what payment plan you choose, there's no reason to give your bank information to the collectors. Like, this is something you're going to work out directly. So again, if you get a call that says, send me your bank information for this third-party collector, that's not valid. You don't need to do that, and that could be fraud. Number 4, never ignore a court summons for debt collection. Lawsuits for collections accounts are common, and it's one way that the collection agencies actually can get payment. You might want to get an attorney to assist you with these lawsuits and avoid make the situation worse. But again, making sure it's all properly documented and that it's legitimate. Don't fall for something if it seems like they're asking for information they shouldn't be asking. Just be skeptical, but never ignore them. Go straight to the source and find out if it's legitimate.
Yeah, I think one good thing to know with this too is like with wage garnishments and things like that, they will contact your financial institution. So if you get somebody who's saying, oh, we're going to garnish your wages or whatever, you can contact your financial institution and verify that with them, because they will have documentation that they can also confirm with you. So those can be legitimate, but there's multiple ways for you to verify that it's actually going to happen.
If someone is calling you and not following these general guidelines, it may be a scam. Contact the company you owe directly and set up a payment method. Let's take a break to hear from our sponsor.
CCCU has a bonus for you. High five! It's 5% interest on a bonus checking account, only available at Clark County Credit Union. That's 5% on your money, and it's just one more benefit of membership at Clark County Credit Union. Isn't it time for you to join? Anyone can be a member, because if somebody's making money off your checking account, shouldn't it be you? Open a bonus checking account today and start earning your 5%, only at CCCU. Funds privately insured by American Share Insurance.
Next up is our Future Self segment inspired by the Happiness Project. Social media can be a good source of information, but knowing what the facts are and what the fabricated ones are can be a challenge. Here are some ways to fight misinformation when consuming information online and on social media. The first thing you can do is ask yourself, could this be misinformation? I think that's something that a lot of us have seen over the last couple of years, especially with like AI and things like that. So think about who would benefit from spreading confusing information during a news event and question why such narratives are going around. Misinformation is often accidentally spread by people who want it to be true. The people behind it could be trying to rile up supporters or create more tension between opposing sides of an issue, or generally destabilize a population. Something that I heard of more recently, which I don't think was as, there wasn't something vindictive against it, I don't think. But one of my friends recently told me that this actor that's somewhat well known had passed away. And I'm just like, what? There's no way this actor has died. And this happened to other actors in the past too. And so I do my research, and then I go to IMDb and know he's fine and he's well. But for whatever reason, someone decided to get this misinformation out there. People were, getting sad. I can't believe it. He's so young, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, just take a moment, which leads us to the next point. Slow down while reading and watching. No matter how devastating, enlightening, or engraving a news post is, avoid hitting that share button right away. Wait until the information being shared is authenticated or confirmed by a trusted source or media outlet. And that's kind of what, I experienced. My friend heard it. They shared it with me. And I was like, no, that doesn't sound right. Let me just double check. So slow down.
On like a smaller scale, have you ever just even like searched for a GIF and you were like, oh, this is perfect. And then you like send it, but it was long. And then it like kept going and got to something like, oh, I didn't mean it to say that, you're some little funny
like a preview. And then it's like, oh yeah, that was not the message I meant.
So like in that same case, like just look at the whole thing before you send it. And I don't know, everyone's just moving so fast. I could totally see someone just be like, oh, share. And
even like headlines for like news articles and stuff, there'll be like this headline that seems one way, but if you actually click on the article, read it through, it's like completely saying something different. So slow down, read it, watch it before you share it. Next is check the source. Don't always trust verified accounts. Now on Instagram, if I wanted to, I could have a verified page and
pay the money and get it.
Exactly. So you never know who's behind that. When breaking news happens, many social media users become a source of news. Unfortunately, some of these articles or posts have inaccurate information. Do your due diligence to approach these posts with caution and skepticism. And remember, not all verified checkmark accounts are trustworthy. And finally, make a collection of your trusted sources. So news organizations are built to verify stories. So if you've got a news organization that you trust, they give you accurate information, you can rely on them to provide you accurate news that has been verified. Stay skeptical out there, guys. We want to hear from you. Send us your financial questions or money topics that you'd like to learn more about, and don't forget any fun local food recommendations. Our email is ThePerfectBite@CCCULV.com.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode brought to you by Clark County Credit Union. For additional money management tips and financial calculators, check out our website at ccculv.org. Now that was The Perfect Bite.